I'm just going to set it up with, first of all, I'm excited to start these 8-week mastermind Zooms again. I know we had a great time, anybody that was with me last quarter, end of 2017. So I appreciate you showing up once again, or now truly committing and being here for the first time. So thank you. We have several people that will still be popping on. So hopefully they will come in. But like I said, I don't want to waste your time. I want to keep these to 45 minutes at max. But I'm excited because I have written it out for the next 8 weeks. And basically what it looks like. So I want to give you guys the details so you have an idea of what this is all about. So first of all, this entire 8 weeks is going to be about leadership development. But there's going to be other things that are plugged into it based on the surveys, what you're wanting to learn. Like, this is all about you and really tailoring it to your needs. So I will just say that, the first 3 weeks, we're going to focus on leadership development. The whole realm is leadership development. We're going to end that 3 weeks with Arno Nakaha, one of the greatest leaders here at Beachbody, who's going to be speaking to us on behalf of leadership development. From there, we're going to go on to onboarding and systems, because that was your number 2 thing that you said, okay, this is something that I need more information on, or something that I feel like I need to get better at. And so we're going to go with that for 2 weeks. And then we're going to have Jeff Hill pop on. And I'm still deciding on a topic on that, because depending on where we're at and what we're needing, it'll be tailored to our needs. So we'll have Jeff Hill. And then the last 2 weeks will be about recruiting. So this will encompass all of leadership development. The one thing that all of you ladies probably didn't sign up for, and I'm saying that seriously, because 98% of my coaches sign up to help people, not realizing that they're going to be a leader, but you're a leader. So we really need to develop those skills, right? So along with that, that's how the 8 weeks will drop by. I said I'm excited. I am truly committing to you, so please commit to me. These will be recorded, so if there is an issue, obviously, let me know. But you will get the most when you show up every single time and interact, because this is a platform for you all to connect. The beautiful thing, and I've already seen this happen so much, is when you all start trading calls, when you create success partners outside of your organization, like that's when this becomes a beautiful process. So please dive into the community, the support, the leaders that are in the trenches along with you, okay? Also, standards, we are a team. We support each other 1,000%. Negativity is left at the frickin' door. And I'm going to say this all out of fun, but you have other platforms for that. No frickin' joke. I see it all the time. But don't bring it in here, okay? Positivity, uplifting. What can we do to help each other? Like, we go through enough with helping people alone, let alone having to deal with it on this platform, okay? So out of love, please, please, please keep the positivity and the integrity of this group up high. Yes, solution-oriented, thanks, Vic. And then, like I said, just please show up. I'm showing up for you. This is early for me. I normally don't do calls this early, but I'm on my A game today, all right? All right. Okay, so let's get this party started. And I actually want to open it up with a question, and I want you guys to interact and get involved. So when it comes to leadership development, and of course, we're going to talk about the tools and maybe what can help, but let me say this. Let me preface this. You're all leaders. You're all strong leaders. You're all 5-star diamond and above. You have all created great things within your organization. You're all leaders. Okay. So just a reminder, even if you're in a rebuilding year, if it's been a tough couple of years, if you're coming off the greatest year, whatever it may be, you are a leader. So let me ask you this. What is working right now for you when it comes to leadership? Ready? Unmute yourself and go.
I'll go.
Yeah, go.
Okay. So I'm going to be real with you guys. Last year was what'd you call it? A rebuilding year? It was like, I have too much shit going on and I need to take care of myself here, is what it really was. But I noticed at the end of last year, I found my fire again, and I kind of dropped the whole old habit of beating a dead horse, like trying to convince my inactive coaches to work or go back to active or do the 3-day refresh, for God's sakes, anything. I kind of let them go. And what I did was, I found my voice again, and I found that fire again, and I stopped micromanaging, and I stopped focusing on all my well, not all my coaches altogether, but the coaches that weren't showing up 150%. And I dove into my coaches that were all go-getters. And I started, being very vulnerable on social media and within my team. I was humble, and I said, you know what, I'm going through some tough times right now. but I'm not taking my foot off the pedal. Like, I still have goals. I still have dreams. Like, this is my full-time job. I'm not giving up. And a lot of my coaches were going through ish too. Like, one of my coaches, her husband lost their job. They have 4 kids at home, and she is solely working Beachbody, and she's getting like $100 a week. Like, this is her, like, she has to make this work. So I noticed, like, when I was showing up, even though I was going through a hard time, my coaches that were all inners that had shit coming up, they started like fanning their flames and building their fire. And the more we were doing that, the more outsiders, our prospects or our followers, our friends that were just watching us from the sidelines, they were like, okay, well, this girl's going through struggle. She's showing up on social media. She's talking about the hard times, but she's still in it. Like, she's still doing her workouts. She's still doing her personal development. She's still showing up for her team, for her coaches, for her family, for everything. And it was like, it was a natural trickle down effect, because like we always talk about staying in the basics and doing the simple things. And when you stop focusing on micromanaging or beating your dead horses, or, you know, or things that we cannot control, but focus on the things that we can control, it's like this genuine trickle down effect. Like, your coaches that are all in want to do the same thing, because they're like, okay, well, if my leader, my mentor can go through the hard times and still not take her foot off the gas, so can I. And then they show up on social media and they preach what they're doing, and they share their struggles. Then the prospects that been giving them objections or giving them all excuses are like, hey, you know what? Well, actually, if you can do it, so can I. So, I mean, that's what really we've been doing. It's weird because it's nothing new to anybody, but just really digging deep and finding that fire within us and fanning our flames instead of letting them die out, and showing others that they can fan their own flames. And I mean, that's what we've been doing. That's what I've been doing.
That's perfect. Thank you so much. And really speaking to all of us that have had one of the hardest years, personally, emotionally, businessly, let's just say, literally all of the above. So no, thank you, Vic, on that. I do want to, and I know Melissa's talking right now, Melissa Brewer, sorry to call you out like this, sweetie, but the question is, and I want you to answer this, because one thing I've noticed with her, as far as leadership goes, you are point on. So my question is, leadership development, what is working for you? So Melissa Brewer, would you mind unmuting yourself and talking to us?
Sorry, I was trying to tell Alexa to turn off.
You're good.
She was not listening to me. So I think really in terms of leadership this year, or at least in the past year, it's been kind of like a lead by example thing, and giving my leaders opportunities to lead. Because I think for so long, like, I was someone who just kind of did whatever my coach did and followed her example and never took the opportunity to lead my own team. And so they kind of did the same thing. They would just kind of like go along with whatever I was doing. But this past year, I've really tried to give them opportunities to lead. So instead of me running the sneak peeks, I have them run it with me, give them opportunities to be on the front line, to share their stories, to really open up. Because that's something I think everyone's really afraid of doing. They're like, oh, my coach has a financial story. My coach has a physical transformation. Like, I'm going to let her speak. But I think when you give them that ownership, they start showing up more to their physical journey. They start showing up more to their financial journey. They're owning their business rather than letting someone else share their story, you know? So that has been something that's really, I think, helped my leaders grow. And then also just really instilling belief in them. I think a lot of times they have so much self-doubt. And I know that my personality is that even if I do have self-doubt, I'm going to do whatever it takes to like get to where I want to be. I'm a leader. I just go for it no matter what. Even if people tell me I'm an idiot or whatever, I just do whatever it takes to make it happen. And so many people, yeah, we can paint your nails in just a minute, okay? So many people aren't like that. They're more timid, or they're more sensitive to what other people think. Whereas I could care less what other people think, as long as I'm helping my family or getting whatever goals I have out. Libby wants to say hi. We'll let her say hi. So
I was waving at her pipe.
So to instill belief in them, what I've not started doing, but one thing that I like to just continually like beat into their minds is like, you can do anything you want to do. And as long as I keep telling them this, as long as they hear it from someone, because if they're not hearing it from me, they're not hearing it from anyone really, maybe their spouse. And it's really hard to keep going when you don't have someone on your side cheering for you. And so I just continually, like, for example, I have a coach and I was talking, you grab her. I was telling Brittany this just the other day. I have a coach who has been an emerald for a year and a half, you guys. And she's a working mom. She has a very similar story to me. She just kind of was floating. Will you go tell Alexa to turn off? Alexa! No. Go in there. And she had all these doubts, but she never told me them because she didn't think I wanted to hear excuses, right? And so she just kept them to herself, and she never would take off. She could never take off. And finally, like 6 months ago, she came to me and she's like, Melissa, I'm going all in. And I want to just tell you, like, thanks for never giving up on me. Like, you've always told me I can do it. I've never really believed that I could do it, but I'm going to do it. Within 3 months, she hit diamond. She's now almost a 1-star, almost a 2-star. Her husband has like 6 coaches under him. One of her coaches is running. She's like balls to the wall. All of a sudden, it was like this switch was flipped, but it was belief. It wasn't like she did anything different. She's still doing the same posts. Like, she's still attracting. I think it's just the way when you believe in yourself and when you believe in the business, the people you attract are different. They're different than when you kind of sort of believe, when you kind of sort of put it out there. Like, the universe hears you and people can read you and people feel how you feel. And if you have any kind of a doubt, they're going to sense that and they're not going to trust you. And I think that's been the biggest thing that I've really tried to push with my leaders this year is like, you cannot question. Like, you have to be all in. Like, all in means 100% I believe this is going to happen. And I think there's this fire that lights inside of them when they feel that energy coming from me, because I know that this business can change lives. It's changed our life like I never imagined possible. And so I know it, but they don't know it yet. So I have to try and help them see the big picture, because there was a time when I didn't know it yet either. But what's different is when you just start talking like it, you start believing it, even when it's not your reality. And I don't have my chat open.
That was no, that was beautiful. Let's see if there was anything. Oh, she just says amen. Amen, sister. No, that's perfect. So thank you so much. I want to also take a moment because we have 2 brand new 5-star diamonds on this call, Cassidy and Cozy. So these 2 pushed till the end of the year, worked really, really hard in 2017, became brand new 5-star diamonds. So I want to hear their perspective, because these are coaches that went from here all the way to here, and now they're joining us. So if you don't mind, Cozy or Cassidy, whoever wants to go first, will you kind of let us know what is working for you when it comes to leadership development? Because obviously something is working. So if you will unmute yourself, I'm going to go with Cassidy. Unmute yourself, and then we'll go Cozy next.
Okay, I have to unplug my headphones, so they're not working. So for me, can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay. For me, I feel like same kind of thing, just like always believing in them, because I know when I started, that's what gave me the confidence to jump right in from the very beginning when I had no idea what I was doing, had no time. Like, all of these doubts didn't even come up in the beginning for me, because before I even started, my coach was instilling that belief in me and making me feel like, for some crazy reason, that I could do this, even though I didn't quite believe it yet. So like, I've always heard from her that you have to believe in them even before they believe in themselves. And I feel like it's the same thing, not just with your challengers, because we see that with our challengers too, that the biggest thing that we get objections from is mostly not because they don't have the money or they don't have the time, but because they truly just don't believe in themselves, and they don't believe that they can do this and that they're going to succeed and that they're capable of this. They're scared of failing. And I feel like it's the exact same thing with coaches, especially in the beginning when everything is scary and uncomfortable and weird. If you don't feel like someone else believes in you, why would you think that you could do this, you know? So I think the same thing, like just instilling that belief in them by continually reminding them and recognizing them. Like that is so, so huge, because you may not realize like how big of a deal it is, but I'm telling you, like, recognize them for stuff that doesn't even seem like a big deal. You know, they make a post and they've been sharing consistently on their social media, or they've been, you know, busting out their invites, or they've been showing up to be a product of the product every day, or whatever it is. Like the things that we just do naturally, we don't even realize sometimes, I feel like, that they need to be recognized, but they do. And it feels good for those people to feel like they're important, to feel like they're doing something right. And like, it just keeps instilling that belief in them that they can do this and that they are doing, you know, a good job. And so I think recognizing, not just believing in them and telling them, but then recognizing them for those actions is going to help them start to believe in themselves.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. What about you, Cozy? And welcome to the call, ladies. Welcome to this group of amazing leaders.
I'm trying to think of like what made me kind of just switch my mindset, because I didn't hit 2-star until, I don't know, I think I was official in like July. And then I remember Micah's my upline, and so she, and my sister-in-law, so she has like this big whiteboard in her office, and she has everybody's names down, and like she had what that they could be by the end of the year, or maybe what we had told her our goal. And she had 5-star by mine, and it was probably in like October-ish. I was at her house, and I was like, you really think I can get there? Or are you just saying that because I see this board all the time? You just put it there to make me feel good? And she was like, no, like I legit think you can, and like you have complete control over it, because I already had 2 diamonds that were kicking butt, but I had control of 3 other diamonds, my mom, my second, and my brother. So in like within a month span, I'm just like, hey, if I just need to make this happen. So I just kind of went balls to the wall and just recruited like crazy. And like this, like I remember telling her, I'm like, I was like, I think it was like literally the last week that I could qualify. And I was like, oh, this sucks so bad. And she's like, no. She's like, it might suck right now, but imagine how it feels when you actually hit your goal. And I was like, that's so true. And she was so right. And so I think like for me and my team has gotten way more like tight knit the last even 6 months. And it's because I legit care about them in their life, not just coaching. And I think like I'll ask them, I message them or text them and ask how they're doing, like if their kid's birthday or whatever. I'm just their friend. And I think that has like completely switched like our team dynamic. And so it helps other people want to be a part of that. And so that's what totally has helped switch my mindset. And I actually want to show up every day because I like who I'm working with and I care about them. And we don't only just talk about coaching and how we can be a better coach and a leader. It's just like life in general and how we can improve our life in general. And I think that's like been huge for me and just my coaches. And I have like 2 other girls that are seriously inches away from Diamond. And it's like, I see them as friends and I care about them, like why they actually would want to get to Diamond, not just for my benefit, you know? So I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it's perfect. Thank you so much. It was beautiful. Who wants to go next? What is working for you when it comes to leadership? Shayna, go ahead.
All right. So last year was kind of a totally rebuilding year for me. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever felt this way where you've had coaches who like come out of the gate strong and they hit Diamond and then they quit and you just feel like somehow like you've failed them, or you kind of take it personally and you take it as a hit, like, what did I do wrong? And so this last year, I kind of focused on giving myself grace. I was pregnant the majority of last year. I had my baby girl at the end of November. So I think what's worked the best for me is showing myself grace and just being really open and honest with my team about my struggles and what I'm going through and continuing to show up. Even after I had her, like, I mean, I was messaging people in the hospital. Brittany knows I'm not one to take days off. Like I kind of power through. That's just my mindset. That's the way that I work. So just kind of showing them that I'm still showing up and that, hey, if I can do this with a brand new newborn and barely any sleep and trying to juggle everything, that they can too. And a couple of things that I did is kind of similar to what Vicki said, I went to the people who wanted this, and I decided to work with the people that wanted this, and I put us all in a group text message to get us off of Facebook, because I feel like so often our Facebook messages kind of get lost. So we're in this big group text message, me and my coaches, and as they get coaches who are wanting to work, they add them into the text message, and that's kind of where we all talk and we share our struggles, we share what invitations are working well, we talk about how we're inviting, how we're posting, and hold each other accountable. Most of us have a Teamsy account, so we've linked all of our Teamsy accounts together so we can see like how many people we're talking to and inviting and how we're tracking our businesses. And that's seeming to work really well because we're all getting to know each other, like she said, outside of just Beachbody. Like we're all becoming really close-knit and friends. I'm actually leaving tomorrow to California to meet up with a couple of them, and we're going to go to Disneyland and stuff. And just having that like camaraderie between us has been really cool to see, because the two people who I initially started this group message with are actually the two girls that hit Diamond last year. And I think just having that sense of like, oh, like this isn't just all about hitting Diamond, like we're all kind of in this together, and it's a group effort, which is what Brittany's told me to focus on from the beginning, and it's been hard to do, and now I'm starting to actually do that. But one of the things that also has been working really well for our team in general is we have like a team-wide coach sneak peek group, and it's ongoing. We never close it, and every month we go live into that group. Somebody will go live. So for example, this Saturday, me and the two girls that I'm with at Disneyland, we're going to go live and talk about coaching and like the community aspect of coaching. And we encourage our coaches to go in there and just randomly go live, share your story, share what it is that you love about coaching, why you decided to start coaching. So we've got all of these like different stories all in one place. There's always somebody going live. So as you add people into this group, even if maybe they don't sign up in January, they're going to catch us live in February, and maybe that will spark some interest, or they'll hear a different story from somebody else that will like engage them and get them interested. And that's seeming to work really well because it's encouraging our coaches to kind of step up as leaders and share their own stories, and it gives them more of a safe place to go live when they're not really comfortable going live on their personal pages yet. And it also gives our newer coaches who aren't quite there as far as like sharing the story and what the coaching opportunity is about, a place to invite people to where they can be like, okay, this person would probably resonate with like what it is that you're going with, and like can tag them in that video. And that seemed to work really well for us. It's been kind of a fun group, and we've had a lot more people like signing up coaches and things like that, because I feel like we've got a whole team of basically different stories on how we started, why we started, what keeps us going, where we're at in this journey, whether we're brand new or 3+ years in like me. And that's been really helpful for our team too. So
thank you so much. I'm glad you finally listened. Just joking.
I try.
No, you're amazing. I love that. Okay. Hey, let's go to Melissa Galamay, please.
So this has also been my year of, I'm just going to call it a comeback, because last year was really, I don't want to say it was hard, because there was a lot of really amazing wins happen. I shared with Britt. I really was trying to find myself and working through some of my own personal struggles as a newly sober mom. And that had a lot of changes. I also lost quite a few people to competitors. So I knew in November I had a decision to make. Because it was going to affect rank, it was going to affect team culture, and that I could either step up and lead my team, or live in fear and question whether or not people were going to go over to these other competitors with these people that they saw as quote unquote leaders. And so I was vulnerable with them, which was super uncomfortable to me, because I had to help them get the reality of perception versus media is real. And I went back to basically my roots and started talking how I built this business and what this business meant to me. And really, I've been doing Week My Team page. I've been taking different polls and, asking simple questions about, yesterday's question was, without Beachbody, what would be missing in your life? And really just trying to continue to build that energy and conversation. And I honestly feel, so tomorrow is my 4-year anniversary, and I've never had a team this strong. Like, our culture is so strong right now. And I have people who literally, like, they need this opportunity just as desperately as I did 4 years ago. And so just like a couple of the girls have said, like, we meet for coffee, we go walk around the lake, we run to the ocean. Like, just focused on friends first, business second, which is how I do it. But on the flip side of that, I'm holding them accountable. So I had a girl reach out this morning. She's super close. She could hit diamond if she coughed. And she was like, I'm really overwhelmed. I need to step back. And I hold on, take a deep breath. Like, you don't to step back. You need to prioritize. And you need to stay on social media and stop scrolling, feeling like you need to go comment on everybody's stuff. And you need to get your invites done first. You need to fill your own cup, which is something that Brittany has, talked to me a lot about, is making sure that I'm taking care of myself. Because like Shayna just said, like, I don't take a lot of days off, and it doesn't matter what's going on and what happens in my life. Like, I'm working because I love this and I love what it's done for me. And I feel like I'm not constantly sharing that, then I'm doing people a disservice. Another thing that I've done this year, as far as going back, really, hold on, sis, really driven me in this business is I introduced, again, a book. And it's for, people. I wasn't going to drag anyone along. And if you want to be a part of it, you can. But we're all reading The Energy Bus together. And it's a book that I read in the very beginning that really helped me, I think, shape the culture of our team. But like I said, last year was a really hard year for our team. And we got rocked pretty hard with people, going over companies. But none of that matters to me. And so that's what I'm trying to refocus my team, because even right now, people are like, oh man, I just lost someone to prove it. Or, oh man, keystones are, I'm like, get those people off your newsfeed. Why are they even showing up? Like, why are you focused on that? And so I guess it's a little bit of tough love, because one of the things that I recognized this past year, that I was enabling people to stay playing very small, because it was comfortable for them, and I want them to see me as, this leader that was like a drill sergeant. But at the end of the day, if I'm not helping you get to your goals and I'm the only one who's winning, like, that sucks. I hated hitting elite and being the only one from my team going to those parties or sitting in the front row. That just, to me, that's not awesome. So that is what I'm focused on. And we've had the highest registration for Summit. We've had the highest registration for Super Days this year. And we're just getting started. So I would say just really leading from the front, being on my people, but at the same time giving them that, hey, you have this, you do have the tools, you just have to execute them, because nobody's going to do it for you. Like, mine didn't do it for me. So that's really what art has been helping us.
Thank you so much. That was perfect. Okay, you ladies are on to something here. I love it. I want to ask Julianne, because I know she's been working super, super, super hard, and I just want to share this. She did a little escape with her husband to London for 5 days, just a couple days ago, and she said the most beautiful thing, because her team was working even when she wasn't there. So will you please share with us hi Jenna, she's in the cute little camera. Will you share with us what is working for you as far as leadership development, please?
Yes. First of all, I think I had to ask myself a question of, where is joy in my life when it comes to leadership, and what stole my joy? So last year, I wasn't doing my team calls anymore, and my favorite thing is teaching. So I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So I decided to have weekly team best practice calls, and it started with like 5 people jumping on because it was new. And then it started to grow and grow and grow. And all I do every Tuesday, I get so excited, is I just share a best practice that's happening in my own business, my own life, like not just business related. And I just spend 30 minutes to an hour just sharing what's working for me. But then also I'm growing. Like each week I have to challenge myself to grow. And then what's cool is it's relatable, because I'm being transparent with my struggles. I'm being transparent with what's working. I'm being transparent with my excitement and my joy. Another thing that I realized is that I was always waiting till the end of the year to go for elite or a big goal. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was telling Brittany, I was like, I need to reverse this. I need to go hard all the time, but it doesn't mean it has to be exhausting. Hard goals should be fun. So I made a graphic And I shared, who wants to go 10-star with me? Like, we're really close. We can do this. Like, let's go. So I made a push to Diamond group, and I calculated it to where even if you have 0 PS coaches, you could go Diamond by April 1st. So if you just add 2 coaches a month, and then we'll help mentor those other coaches to go Emerald, it can happen. So I made these simple graphics, and we have a lot of people on fire, ready to go, growing their businesses and seeing how close they really are to creating Diamond and beyond. And that's been another goal of mine, is seeing duplication beyond Diamond, really helping my coaches go 2-star. And so every time a coach adds a coach, I update our graphic, and just, they're all in. My team works based on mission, and my team works based on a common goal. And I realized, if I don't elevate and push myself, why would anyone else on my team do the same thing? And so, because every time we've gone for elite, every time we've gone for a big goal, they've pushed so hard with me because they were fighting with me. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, let's go 10-star, which is so scary to me. I don't know why. And then once I actually like wrote it out, I was like, oh my gosh, like, we can actually do this by April 12th. So just being transparent with my fears, but then it takes 21 times for someone to hear a mission, passion, for them to believe it themselves, which makes sense, because every time I'd go for something big, I'd write it on Post-its and say it all the time, every day. And then it would happen, it would manifest. So every day I go in my little 10-star push group and I say, okay, guys, we're going 10-star. And they're all like, we're doing it. And I'm like, they probably have heard it 21 times now, and they're in. And it's so crazy. And I think just for me, it was important to elevate and raise the bar for myself and not hit cruise control, because it literally is my mission to see success happen for other coaches. And I think we are more successful when other people become more successful. And that's what my mindset happened to be. And right now I'm really, really, really excited about 2018, and just excited for my team to experience success when they're getting their highest paychecks. Like, I literally cry. I'm just so excited. Or when they're doing something scary and they 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and ask someone who's on their dream team, like, I'm freaking celebrating their process and celebrating this vision, but I'm also laying out the vision. Last thing is, what brings me joy? That's the question I just asked. What brings me joy? What brought me joy when I first started? It was being present on Zooms and not having my phone open and getting on Facebook. Like, I need to be in the growth mindset. And so I've taught my team that. So when you look at my team calls, you can see everyone's picture. Everyone's sitting up, they're all taking notes. They're not on their phone, and they're not multitasking. And because when I started to be plugged in, I started to grow myself. And now I'm noticing my team growing because they're actually listening to what I'm saying. And I'm present with that. I say, you're not going to be on your phones. And they're like, how can you see our screen? And I'm like, I can't. I'm just guessing that you're on Facebook so I can see your eyes move. So I'm just honest that that's something that I got away from. Getting on the National Wake Up Call live has been a goal of mine, and taking notes every time, because that's what I did in the beginning of this business. I got on every call right away. So I've been doing that again. And then reading books instead of just listening to PD, because I was multitasking. I was everywhere else and not really listening. So I'm already on my 3rd book of the year. And I'm like, if I can grow, my team is going to grow. And so I have put listening on the back burner, reading on the front end. If I can listen, I will. But otherwise, I'm reading as fast as I can through books. But I tell my team that. And so now they're growing because they're actually, so reading books, leading team calls weekly, which started with like 5 people. And now it's like, I can't even count. So it literally was like, got to work your way up to getting people to believe in it. And then being transparent, being plugged in, and not distracted. That is what it is.
You rock. That was perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay. I hope you are taking notes. Like, I am taking well over a page of notes. Because I love this. I love your excitement towards it. And it's comical to me, because it's like, that's the number one thing you want to grow in. But I will tell you right now, all of you are doing really, really well. So I think it's just adding that confidence behind it. So I just want to ask, I want to give Virginia, Deidre, and Whit Small, if you guys have anything that you want to share. I'm going to close out this call in about 5 minutes because I have something that I want to share, but I just want to give you guys the opportunity if you want to share anything.
Sure, I can go for a little bit.
Yeah.
So last year I felt like I was just running my own team, like by myself. I'm really good at staying in phase 1 for myself, hitting Success Club, doing all these things, and I've always led from the front and just kind of hoped that people, caught on and went with me. But I realized that they need more support from me. They need me to just talk to them and tell them that they can do this too. Because if they're not hearing that all the time, like all of you guys said, then, you know, they get discouraged and then they won't do it. So this year I made a little pod chat, like nothing too crazy, and just got all of my girls that are business builders in there. So there's about 20 of us in there. And I just told them, you know, once a month, I'm going to hop on a call with you guys. And basically all we do is say like our Success Club goal, what rank we're working towards, and something like for ourselves that we're going to work on. And already I can just see like the friendships building and kind of just like this, right? Just being surrounded by business builders is making such a difference already. And some of these girls have been coaches for like 3 years and they've been emerald. And I'm finally seeing them like really show up on social media and like get outside their comfort zone, but it's because they have this group. And like I have 3 moms and I don't really relate to moms that well because I have a dog. So I'm seeing the moms in their own little group and I'm seeing them like tag me in their own team calls and I'm like, this is exactly what I want. So finally, like it's fun when you have all your business builders together because I have a huge team page. I post in there all the time, but it's just so different when you have like a little group pod. And so that's kind of where I'm going this year. And I finally put out and told everyone my own goals because sometimes I got hesitant to share, like if I was going for like 7-star, 8-star, because they're like emerald or new coach or they don't even know what that means. So sometimes I would back off and I wouldn't share my goals. So this year, finally, I'm like putting it out there. I'm like, I'm going for Success Club 30 every month and I'm going for 10-star. And I like sent all my emerald and above a little message and I kind of just said like, hey guys, this is my goal and I would love for you to work towards it with me. Like this is just going to make our whole team grow. So I sent that out to like 20 girls and like a lot of them were like, yes, I would love to help you and like I want to hit diamond this year. So like putting it out into the universe. So I'm just really, really excited because last year I kind of was just coasting and I thought I had elite and then come like October I realized my points were off and then my diamonds were kind of like shaky and I was like, oh my gosh, it's not going to happen. And so this year I'm like, yeah, I need to be more organized. I need to know where I'm at and actually track. So I've been using Teamsy. So I'm just excited for this year. And I feel like I'm excited to be a part of this too because I've moved so many times that I haven't really been in like a leadership group. So I'm excited to be in a leadership group like this and I feel like it's going to make a big difference. So thank you for adding me, Brittany. And I was trying to go fast because I know
no, that's perfect. And I just want to add on to what Virginia is saying. So Virginia, she actually is from Canada, moved to Arizona, so she's in Arizona. So if you like, that's why she, you know, transition and the move, and her husband plays professional basketball. So it's like there's so much going on in her life. So I love that you have committed to this. So thank you. I will say this, Virginia shared a beautiful thing, and it doesn't matter how far you go on this business. One of the coaches that I love not the most, well, one of the most is Melissa McAllister. And I did a team call for her a couple weeks ago. And literally, even somebody at that caliber, somebody that is that successful, has still had a hard time sharing her goals with her team. And this is the first year that she's like, you know what? I want them to see the vision of what's possible with this. I want them to encompass it with me. You know, and she's been extremely successful. She's made other coaches very successful, but she wants more of it. So I think it's something beautiful. If you can really accomplish it right now of sharing your goal, your vision, your why of what you're working towards and really rally your team, it will make it so much more beautiful in the process. So I love that you brought that up. So thank you so much. I know Whit Small did unmute herself. So did you want to go, sweetie?
Sure, I'll go real quick. We did, I broke everyone into pods, and then like Brittany's always suggested, a separate pod for Success Club pods. So those who are pushing, and we leave them in there till they hit Success Club. We celebrate every single person they bring on. That's been huge for leadership and participation. And then leadership was big for me this year, of the concept of everybody doing something together as a team rather than everyone doing their own. So we run all of our free groups together now, our sneak peeks together, our year-long challenge group together, and it's created this community. I mean, we got hats made, like these are our hats, like everyone who gets a challenge pack gets a hat. Like, it's created this community, and then they step up with a posting schedule. So every coach knows when they post on what day, and it has created this leadership of ownership. And rather than me just jumping in there and taking over the reins and posting every single sneak peek or challenge group post, they do it. And then something new that we're going to try starting today, actually, we do a Coach 101, 201, and 301 series. So Coach 101 series, new coaches up to Emerald can jump into that one. 201 is Emerald and above. 301 is Diamond and above. And I'm sending out right now to the leaders, hey, who wants to lead, who wants to be a professor, and post out the dates, and they can pick, what day they want to lead on a topic that they feel comfortable talking about. So that concept, and then they're going to plug their people into the 101 series or into the 201 series, so that they have a system that they can put their new coaches in that they're also a part of and that they have ownership over. So stay tuned. I think that's going to work really well.
You rock. Thank you for that. I love that. Coach 101, 201, 301. Never heard of it. Love that. Love it. Love it. Hey, and I didn't want to leave out Breezy. You've been right next to me the whole flipping time, and I didn't say your name. Did you want to say anything, sweetie? I don't want to forget about you.
I just want to say that you guys are awesome. Thank you for all the value here. The one thing I've been doing as far as connecting with my coaches that's been working well is I've been using the Marco Polo app. Have you guys used that? It's amazing. I love it. I'm one who I get super overwhelmed with my Facebook Messenger, and it's so easy to miss important messages from the people I'm trying to connect with the most. And so I've tried to move all my PS coaches over to Marco Polo, and the ones that I have, it has been amazing. It's like you get those mom life, like everyday moments on there too, and it's so much easier to build that relationship and be friends with them. So that's what's been working well for me there.
I love that. Never even heard of it. I'm going to have to go check that sucker out. Good. Okay. Hey, I want to just close this call. I appreciate you. And it will be like 5 more minutes. I'm going to give you a little story time, so that'll be fun. Don't fall asleep on me. But I just want to reiterate my expectations because I know many of you jumped on a little bit late. So, and thank you. I sent a message. I'm like, where are you ladies? And then all you popped on. So thank you for that. So just a reminder, this entire 8 weeks is going to be formed around leadership development. The number one thing within this business that most of my coaches never really wanted to be, nor were going to be, but really the number one thing, and really, in this business, you guys know this, and it was just said on here, is if you want, hey, you're good. If you want to be successful in this business, you have to make other people successful. That is when you are successful, okay? So that's why this topic is so important, and it was actually the number one thing put on your guys' surveys for the year. So I love that. But I just want to break it down. So the first 3 weeks will be on leadership development. The third call on this is going to be with Arno Nakaha, who's one of the best leadership development people I truly believe within our company. And that is a call. This is one thing I didn't say, is that both of our calls, my 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and my 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, are going to come together at one time for him. And I'll give you the details. It's going to be a little bit earlier than this call, just like 15 minutes. But I want you all to be there because that will be an amazing call. The next 2 weeks after that, the 27th and the 6th of March, is going to be on onboarding and systems. Okay, so that also goes in leadership development. And then we're going to close that out with Jeff Hill. Once again, we're going to come together with the other group and have a call from Jeff Hill. And then the last 2 weeks of our 8-week hustle, per se, is on recruiting. So once again, in leadership development. So we're just going to really break this out and commit, obviously, like I said, to those 8 weeks. I did say, that I'm excited to be here with you ladies. I am committing to you. So please 100% commit to me. I am going to go with what Julianne said. You need to be present. I understand. I know Deidre popped off. But if you're driving with your kids, I understand. But please have your video chat on. We would love to see your faces. Don't be on your cell phone. There's something very beautiful, and Julianne even hit on it even deeper, about being present. Being present in the moment. If you're feeling overwhelmed and bombarded by life, it's because you're not present in one singular moment. And I'm actually listening to Presence right now on my Audible when I drive to work, and it is so stinking true. If you're trying to really find out your authenticity, say that word 12 times, and who you truly are and what you value in life, Vicky, stop laughing at me. You really need to be present in the moment. Hey, you're good. And so I'm going to really take on that. I will also say, and I said this before, positivity, showing up, with this, the integrity of the group is really based on you ladies. And like I said before, is if you are wanting to gripe and kind of bitch and moan, which actually none of you are like that. I know that right now. There's other platforms than this. So go there, don't come here, but I also actually know every single one of you is not that person. So thank you for that. But I just wanted to break it down how it's going to be. I'm going to go back to, and Melissa Gallimay said that she was reading The Energy Bus. And there's one book that I would highly suggest that you leaders jump into. And it's The Power of Positive Leadership. This was recommended to me and by John Gordon, the same as The Energy Bus. I will say this book right here is money for you, for your business. And he actually wrote it because he's not a positive person. So that's kind of comical because he wrote The Energy Bus. But how it all leads back to positivity within leadership. So I'm just going to read you a couple things. I'm always going to go back to this book, but just a little story time. So please take it in. So this is John Gordon speaking. He says, it takes a lot of work to create a world-class organization. It's hard to develop a successful team. It's not easy to build a great culture. It's challenging to work towards a vision and create a positive future. It's difficult to change the world as a leader. You will face all kinds of challenges, adversity, negativity, and tests. There will be times when it seems as if everything in the world is conspiring against you. There will be moments you will want to give up. There will be days when your vision seems more like a fantasy than reality. That's why positive leadership is so essential. Pessimists don't change the world. Critics write words, but they don't write the future. Naysayers talk about the problems, but they don't solve them. Throughout history, we see that it is the optimists, the believers, the dreamers, the doers, and the positive leaders who change the world. The future belongs to those who believe in it and have the belief, resilience, positivity, and optimism to change all the challenges in order to create it. Okay. Woo! Woo! Little tingles. Okay. Your most important job, though. Culture is not just one thing. It's everything. Culture drives expectation and beliefs. Expectations and beliefs drive behaviors. Behaviors drive habits. And habits create the future. It all starts with the culture you create and the drive throughout the organization. That's where all success and great results begin. Driving your culture is not something you can delegate. You are the leader, and you must spend your time, energy, and effort creating and building the culture of your team and organization. And the last thing I want to end on is know what you stand for. You might be wondering where to start when driving and building a culture. I believe it starts with two questions. What do you stand for, and what do you want to be known for? Okay. So with that being said, I am excited because every single one of you had such great insight into belief, what you're building as far as culture goes with your team, your leadership. Like, I really, truly believe if we can master this as a culture, as Beachbody, as leaders, we're going to be successful, hands down. And so many of you, actually every single one of you, shared what is working for you, and it's beautiful. It aligns so perfectly with that. So now it's teaching our leaders to do the same thing within their teams, right? So with that being said, ladies, I just want to close this out. I appreciate you. I appreciate you showing up. I'm excited for this. Get involved in the message thread. Now, it may get a little overwhelming. I did add you to the 5 to 8 star diamond group, so you can post your best practices in there or other questions so it doesn't get lost, because if not, you'll be scrolling for days. We've all learned that. But just know that I'm here for you. I'm here to work one-on-one with your individual goals monthly, but just know for 8 weeks, you're going to show up for this, and you're going to be surrounded by other great leaders just like yourself. Does that sound good? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Have a great day, okay? Happy Tuesday. Bye, ladies.